The group 3 safety switch had kicked out twice. Now we know what caused it. Whatever was chewing on this managed to short live or neutral across to earth. Unfortunately, it would have shorted out so quickly that the safety switch would have saved the mouse. Damn it. So it's probably still up there, but hopefully it's decided no, that's not a good idea. But now I've got to try and fix up this. I couldn't pull much of the cord through, so I've got a few cable ties on it to stop it sliding back in there where I can't get at it. And I've got a strip enough there that I can cut the end off this and strip a bit and put some joiners on it. So yeah, not fun. I've got to take a cool down break. I've got the plug end stripped and prepared. For that end, it's damn near impossible to get the wire stripper up into the corner there, and I can't afford to cut those wires any shorter. Otherwise it's going to be a major exercise ripping off the surround there and unscrewing that top bit there and sliding all down so we can get at the cable. Major mess. So I'm going to go away, sit down for a while and cool down. I got to start on reconstructing this using little bamboo pegs instead of rusty steel tubes. But as I've said before, limited endurance in these conditions. If we look over here what the conditions are, it's 29, well, near enough to 30 degrees inside with 80% humidity, and outside it's even better at 90% humidity. So I've broken a sweat, time to go back to the lounge room. Sunday morning, as you can hear, pile driving continues. Later this week it'll be about 6 months since we last had a bit of a walk down to the toll road, so we'll see how wet it is. If it's going to be too wet and muddy we won't do it, but otherwise we might go and have a look. Yeah, fuel gauge is definitely stuck. This thing's had a half-hour service run since last time I looked at that, so that should have come down a little bit. So I shall get myself organised to drain the pressure accumulator and then top this up with fuel. It's a bit less than one of those drums to top it up, but yep, for now. Pressure accumulator's had time to finish draining, so I'll put that back on the hose reel now. I was going to work on doing more of these bamboo bits, but after heaving around the fuel drum and all that stuff, I've sort of decided, nah, it's uncomfortable. This thing's lost its outside conditions again, but inside it should focus. So, yep, indoor, 30 degrees, 81% humidity, not comfortable. I'm going back to the lounge room. Oh, we had another ripper thunderstorm last night, and about 20 past 6 the genset started, which was a bit silly given that the state of charge of these batteries was at 99% plus. So, well, that's odd. I came over here and the Fronius had no lights on it, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe that's not well. But I did a manual stop on the genset and hit the auto button and it started up again. Oh, okay. So I came in and did in that box over there, I powered off the Fronius for a couple of minutes and powered it back on again. We got the initial red light at the top for a few seconds, then it went to the amber light in the middle for a couple of minutes, then went off. Like, okay, got to get through the night with no backup. In that, if the batteries here got depleted by the house doing imports, there would be no way of topping those up because I'd disabled the genset. So this morning I checked on this, and yes, it was charging from the solar panels and the Fronius is working perfectly. So it must be something in this first electronic, which is controlling the genset, which says, oh, it should be running. I went and hit the auto button again just now, and it did actually do a start, despite the fact that we have also already charged up to more than 99% state of charge. So the service people will connect in remotely and have a look at and see what's happened when they've dealt with the other more pressing crises they have. So yeah, we should be okay. The only danger we've got is if we have dull afternoons and we don't get fully charged before nightfall. It may be a bit more challenging to get through the night without having to charge up, because there's other things that go on at the house too that can lead to having to do more imports from here. We can do a couple of imports successfully, but the third import is going to trigger a genset start. So, and Jabita came over with me and saw this and said, nah, don't like it. So, righto. So I'm not going to proceed with that. I've got an alternate solution which involves threaded rod and nuts, but that would be costing more than this thing's worth. So, nah, I think that's got to be abandoned. Today is the 30th of April. Wet season is supposedly November through April, so nominally today is the last day of the wet season. According to the forecast, might not be. We've had over 2.1 metres of rain so far this year. Bit damp. And warm as well. Here we go, 32, like 47. I think I'll stick to the nice cool lounge room. Well, I got my 3-4 terabyte disk drives today, and they ended up costing about $200 for the lot, which seems remarkably good value. They were purples, so for CCTV rather than reds for NAS, but I figure they're probably pretty much the same thing. So I've rebuilt the RAID array in the 8 drive NAS, and currently I'm doing a sync across of all of the shares from the primary NAS, so that'll take a few days. It's running 100 megabytes per second, but it's got about 10 terabytes to move, so it'll be a while. The other thing that's turned up is my end-on wire stripper, so I can go and fix up that cable for the range hood in the back kitchen. So there's my wires before stripping. Now they're stripped. Well, won't win any beauty pageants, but it's... There's our focus. Yeah, not going to win any beauty pageants, but it's functional, and we have power back to the range hood at this point. So that'll do for now. I'm getting hot and sweaty just being in this back kitchen. Well, that's two things sorted out, so the only other pressing thing is the genset. Now, it doesn't look like I'm going to get the genset guys or Solar Power Indonesia out here anytime soon, because if the Solar Power Indonesia guys have to come here, it'll be the end of this month, May, because they're flat out already with other stuff. So it could actually be that just the genset has got a stuck relay or something saying yes, I should be on. So we're thinking about getting the genset guys out and just having the Solar Power Indonesia guys on the phone for support. But in the meantime, if it's a fine sunny day and things get fully charged, it's all golden. But if we have a dull day and things don't get fully charged the genset will be needed, and if that's the case, I don't want to have to wake up in the middle of the night and go over and start it. I'd like to get it sort of sorted out before end of day. Now currently, you can see that left one there, that left display is for the house. So I'm trying to get this in focus, which doesn't work well given my eyes and these displays. Okay, so the left one is the house that's currently importing from the shed, which is good because that means it will get near fully charged up before the end of the day by importing from the shed, if the shed's got enough in order to export. So during the day I can control that by going over to the shed and making sure the genset starts if it needs to charge up the shed. You can see there's not a huge amount of solar input at the moment, so a bit of a dull day, as I said. But if I can manage this correctly, I'll have the house fully charged, even if it has to charge from the shed, and the shed fully charged even if I have to go and run the genset when we get to dusk. Then we'll be okay. So I just have to keep an eye on things. Well, it's Thursday, and after 26 hours and 3 minutes, the radar arrays are back in sync. I'll just set up the regular resync job now and see how we go with those new drives. I don't think I'll carry it back across to the shed and put it back over there for now. That might, well, could, but yeah, I'll skip that bit for now. Meantime, I've got a software program that I've got to try and get installed on my notebook computer to go over and extract the configuration of the genset and send that back to the support guys to see whether they can make sense of what's happening in that. Well, it's Friday again, so it's time to wrap up whatever I'm going to video for this week. Was going to go for a walk down to the toll roads. It's around 6 months since we've walked down there, but we've had 152 millimetres of rain in the last week, so a bit too muddy for that. But I've got other stuff I've got to do over the shed at the moment. I've got a USB cable plugged into the control panel of the genset and software loaded on my notebook computer so that I can capture the configuration. Well, that configuration appears to have been captured easily and saved away, and I'll send it off to the support people to find out if there's anything in there they need to change. This weather station over in the shed is a weather base station over in the shed. There's only the secondary one. That's the one I had left over from the weather station I had in Melbourne that got buggered up. There's another one outside on the wall of the tank, which is actually the one that's connected to the internet to report all my numbers. But this one say, yep, 30 degrees in here, 82% humidity. Yeah, and it's only 20 to 10. I'm going back to my nice cool lounge room to edit down a video and do an upload.